Who remembers that green creature throwing spiked balls? Today, we're breaking down the entire underdog to legend journey of this minion from the Mario series. Back when we played the NES, who hasn't been screwed over by this guy in the ice levels? In 1988, it made its first appearance as one of the classic minions in Bowser's Army, created by Shigeru Miyamoto's team. It carried a tiny turtle shell you couldn't slide into and pulled out spiked balls from its belly to throw at you. The craziest part? Even if it was holding a spiked ball, stepping on it would take it out instantly. Fireballs and hammers worked on it too, no problem. Funny enough, its sprite had no hair, but official artwork revealed hidden blue hair. Hardly anyone noticed that cute contrast back then. In the 1995 SNES version of Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Spike got a down-to-earth new name, Mace Penguins, official name. They only hung around the blizzard levels causing trouble, total stage-exclusive minions. They still threw spiked balls to attack, but since the levels were covered in ice, the balls rolled twice as fast, catching a sliding Yoshi off guard. Even though Yoshi could swallow them in one bite and spit them out as eggs, totally losing the arrogance of their first appearance, they would occasionally hide behind icicles to ambush you. So many players fell for that sneaky attack back then. In later ports or remakes, they even got chances to appear in some special modes. Anyone who grinded those modes back then got ambushed by them on loop. In the 1997 N64 version of Yoshi's Story, Spike got another new name, Gabon, official name from the Japanese. That name change made it unrecognizable to many old players back then. It only stayed in the jungle hut stages of World 4, never actively chasing players, just spitting out spiked balls that rolled down slopes. The balls rolled ridiculously slow, but they made up for it in numbers. A bunch rolling at you was hard to dodge. Funny enough, green Yoshis had a special liking for them, with a higher chance to eat them than other enemies. Old players joked back then that they were green Yoshi's exclusive snack, and they couldn't help but leave a few alive when clearing the level. In the 2005 NDS version of Super Princess Peach, Spike not only appeared regularly, but also unlocked a bright blonde variant called Mad Spike, a double upgrade in both looks and attack power. In the 2006 NDS version of New Super Mario Bros., regular Spike didn't appear at all. Instead, it got a snow-exclusive variant, Snow Spike, a total environment-adapted character. It completely abandoned spiked balls and started throwing snowballs instead. The most annoying part? The snowballs got bigger and bigger as they rolled. Small ones were dodgeable, but giant snowballs could take up half the screen, forcing you to hug the edges to move. This variant was specifically designed for the snow theme of World 5-1. So many new players back then got pushed to the cliff edge by snowballs while clearing this level, but old players figured out the trick. Freeze its snowball and throw it back to take it down easily. What a snow bully! In the 2009 Wii version of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Spike reached its peak. It settled on the modern classic design of green skin and blue hair, a look that's been used in multiple games since, becoming the standard version in players' minds. The most brutal mechanic change? From now on, you could no longer step on Spike when it was holding a spiked ball. Stepping on it would make you lose health instantly, completely shattering old players' comfort zones. On top of that, the game added a blue variant called Stone Spike, which stood on cliffs and threw stone-spiked balls down. And its spiked balls couldn't break blocks, totally different from previous spiked ball mechanics. So many players back then didn't figure out this setup, waiting in vain for the balls to break paths. The iconic moments of getting tricked by teammates into stepping on it and losing health in co-op are still memorable today. In the 2012 Wii U version of New Super Mario Bros. U, Spike unlocked a new Rhythm Master trait, learning to bounce to the beat of the background music. The green variant even stood on moving blocks throwing spiked balls, doubling its movement range and making it way harder to deal with than the stationary versions of previous games. It still appeared alongside Stone Spike, The former caused trouble in desert levels, while the latter guarded cliffs, creating vicious pincer attacks. Old players back then figured out the trick. Sliding into it with the penguin suit would stun it instantly. Speedrunners even used its bouncing rhythm to jump through levels, a trick that was super popular in the speedrunning community back then. In the 2012 3DS version of Paper Mario Sticker Star, Spike made its first appearance in the classic paper style. Flat and cute in design, but surprisingly strong, turning into a tank minion. Its health was on par with Pokies and Sniffets, making it a total meat shield in early levels. It would also actively chase Mario and throw spiked balls. Jumping on it while it was holding a ball was useless. You could only take it down with sticker attacks. Later on, it even appeared in teams, pairing up with Paragoombas and Spiny to ambush you with annoying combo attacks. It occasionally dropped spiked ball stickers, which had high attack power. Spike reached its size peak, growing into the mid-boss of the lava mine, appearing before the final boss, Mega Spark, and looking totally dominant. Its exclusive minigame, Spiked Ball Scramble, was super reaction-heavy. It would throw spiked balls down like crazy, and you had to quickly pick a hammer to hit them back. Missing even once would make you lose health, with almost no room for error. Back then, playing this minigame co-op with friends, who hasn't been teased by their teammates for picking the wrong hammer or reacting too slow? And its giant form was a huge contrast to its regular form. So many players back then didn't recognize this giant monster as the familiar green little minion when they first saw it. In the 2013 Wii U version of Super Mario 3D World, Spike entered the 3D Mario games, and its attack method underwent a major revolution. It stopped throwing spiked balls and started throwing spiked bars instead. It mainly lurked in the sprawling savanna and hands-on hall levels. In 3D perspective, the spiked bars had a larger attack range than spiked balls, and it would spin the bar before throwing it, making its trajectory harder to predict. So many players back then got hit because they couldn't switch perspectives in time. This change was made to adapt to the spatial sense of 3D levels. It also moved faster than previous games and would even circle around players to ambush them. In motion-controlled sections, slipping up and failing to dodge was a daily occurrence. In the 2014 Wii U game Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Spike found an easy gig as a fixed turret. It mainly lurked in the corners or high places of some 3D maze levels, acting as a pure environmental threat. Since Captain Toad couldn't jump, Spike's spiked ball attacks became fixed trajectories that required precise calculation. In the 2015 Wii U version of Mario Party 10, can you believe it? The Minion rose to the top. This green guy who'd been a minion its entire life actually became a playable character. It was the second hidden character, requiring a full 600 party points to buy from the Toad shop. How many of us stayed up late grinding minigames to unlock it back then? Its voice acting was identical to that in Super Mario 3D World, with clumsy, cute animations. And it was one of the few playable characters in the game who didn't appear on the tennis court. Total maverick. Back then, playing party games co-op, anyone who picked it always stood out with its cute contrast, becoming the funny guy of the party. In the 2016 mobile game Super Mario Run, Spike became the exclusive roadblock of the spiked ball desert level, lurking right next to coin piles to ambush you, perfectly preying on players' greed for coins. It threw spiked balls much faster than previous games, and the mobile controls felt totally different from consoles. Timing jumps was way harder. One mistake and it would knock you off the springboard, doubling the difficulty of getting 3 stars. How many of us practiced repeatedly back then to get all stars, jumping to the rhythm of its spiked ball throws? Some players even made attack rhythm charts for it. Total mobile nightmare minion. In the 2016 Wii U version of Paper Mario Color Splash, Spike kept its paper design but had a few noticeable changes, the most obvious being its spiked balls turning from brown to white, making it much more visually recognizable. It no longer held the ball the entire time, only pulling it out when attacking, making its attacks more flexible. It would also actively circle around Mario, no longer a stationary target waiting around. It even helped Ludwig von Koopa fight. You had to use Raccoon Mario to hit its spiked ball back to defeat it. Back then, in the Sunset Express level, so many players got ambushed by its combo with Bowser, dying over and over again. In the game's Bowser's Minions mode, we could finally play as Bowser and build our own army. Spike went from being an enemy blocking Mario's path to a recruitable ranged soldier under Bowser, switching sides to become one of us. In the 2018 Switch version of Mario Tennis Aces, this was the moment. It moved from the background to the spotlight. Spike finally fulfilled its tennis dream, officially appearing as a playable tennis character, classified as a power-type character. Its serve power was maxed out, and its smashes dealt huge damage. Total tennis powerhouse. It could also be unlocked in the online tournament demo by grinding 600 points. So many players grinded non-stop to unlock it. In the 2018 Switch game Super Mario Party, Spike finally broke into the inner circle and became a fully playable character. Unlike in Mario Party 10, where players had to unlock it through progression, Spike was available from the very beginning on the character selection screen. Its character die was especially distinctive, offering high risk and high reward, perfectly matching its personality of being troublesome yet full of surprises. In the version 2.0 update of the 2019 Switch version of Super Mario Maker 2, Spike became players' trolling tool. Unlocked as a custom level component, playable in all unlocked game styles, free to place anywhere as a level element. Back then, how many players used it to design troll levels, attaching it to spiked ball traps and moving platforms to make it throw spiked balls while moving? The tactics to troll opponents were endless, and its attack mechanics could interact with other level elements. So many creative levels went viral because of it, making it a must-have material for players to create devil levels. How many new players were driven to quit by these levels? In the 2020 Switch title, Paper Mario: The Origami King, Spike returned in its classic paper form, but this time under the control of King Ollie's origami magic. It mainly appeared in desert regions and certain late-game mazes, acting as a controlled enemy blocking Mario's progress. During the game's ring-based battles, Spike usually stood on the outer ring, throwing spiked balls to harass players from a distance. In the 2021 Switch title, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Spike's role underwent a revolution in the Bowser's Fury mode. It was thrown into a vast, freely explorable open world for the first time. No longer confined to linear courses, it patrolled the scattered islands across the lake, lying in wait near beaches and clearings with regular blocks and shiny collectibles. When Cat Mario attempted to collect cat shines, it would pop up unexpectedly, disrupting progress with its classic spiked ball throws. The most dramatic touch was that whenever the gigantic Fury Bowser rose from the lake, painting the sky fiery red, all common enemies, including Spike, would temporarily vanish, only to sneak back after the storm passed. This mechanic of appearing or disappearing based on Bowser's mood in a dynamic environment had veteran players at the time exclaiming, "So this guy learned to check the weather before clocking in too." Then, in the groundbreaking 2023 Switch title Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Spike reached a highlight moment in its career, even playing the role of a course master. It returned not just as an enemy, but became the core of two revolutionary experiences. First, in Pipe Rock Plateau, World 1, it personally served as the proctor in a dedicated speedrun challenge titled Spike's Speedy Speedrun. A giant, sunglasses-wearing Spike waited at the goal line, while players had to dash through a tense gauntlet of slowly descending spiked balls thrown by it. Success meant touching it at the finish line, a design that had countless players loving and hating it simultaneously. The truly legendary moment, however, was the wonder effect triggered in the same world's course, the Great Spiky Cave. Mario and friends would instantly transform into a bouncing army of spikes. In this form, players could throw unlimited spiked balls, blasting through blocks and enemies in a frenzy, experiencing the ultimate power reversal from being chased by spiked balls to hurling spiked balls wildly. This creative and exhilarating transformation elevated Spike from a classic obstacle to a source of surprise and joy, making it one of the most applauded wonder moments in the early game. Everything culminated in 2025 with the release of Mario Kart World. Launched on June 5, 2025, as one of the flagship titles for Nintendo Switch 2, the game finally allowed Spike to achieve its ultimate breakthrough, becoming a playable racer. Spike drives an exclusive kart designed around spiked balls and mechanical gears, and its special ability involves throwing spiked balls backward and leaving slow-rolling obstacles on the track. This perfectly carries forward its signature spiked ball identity from across the entire series. From an annoying stage enemy to a familiar face in sports titles, and now a rising star on the racetrack, Spike's journey stands as one of the most inspiring underdog stories in Bowser's army. Today, this small green troublemaker races proudly on the track, delivering a brand new kind of speed challenge to both Mario and Bowser, and finally fulfilling a dream fans had waited years to see come true. From a pixel Minion on the NES in 1988 to a multi-platform star-spanning platformers, party games, and sports games today, Spike's underdog journey is the evolution history of the Mario series over decades. Every transformation, every skill revolution hides the youthful memories of old players. From getting frustrated by its attacks to unlocking it as a teammate and playing its exclusive levels, this companionship is probably the most touching charm of nostalgic games. Which game did you get hit by Spike for the first time? Drop your frustrating experiences in the comments. Which classic enemy's evolution history do you want to see next? Tell me in the comments.